if I had, even if I had my old journalism ID, I'd flash that. That's how I got into the nightclubs when I was 18, because you couldn't drink until you were 20. And I looked like I was 12. And so I used to show my journalist ID. I had a press card which was photo ID, and I would show that, and all the people around me who were either of age or looked 20 would say, "Oh, you can't get one of those unless you're 20."
You were a journalist?
Yeah, I was a journalist before I went to university.
Okay.
Yeah, I went there straight from school. I became a cadet reporter at the Southland Times. So I trained as a cadet, and I was a fully fledged journalist when I left to go to uni.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you don't know about me.
I have no doubt.
Yeah, a lot of things. But yeah, it was good. I wasn't a particularly good journalist because I was too young. I didn't know enough about anything. So, like I had one of my rounds, they call them rounds, the topics that different journalists have got different topics. You might be a political reporter, or you might be this or that. And one of my rounds was the Ministry of Works. This is way back before it was turned into, I don't even know what it's called now. There's no such organisation anymore. Everything gets contracted out now. Maybe transit. It was a transit and a few other bits and bobs together. Ministry of Works.
Public Works.
Yeah, Public Works, yeah. And that was one of my rounds. Well, I had no fucking idea. I just got out of school. I had no fucking idea what that meant or who they were. And of course I'd be allocated various stories to write, and if anything involved the Ministry of Works, it was me who wrote the story. But I had no fucking idea, none. And so I was very acutely aware of the fact that I had absolutely no fucking knowledge to be a journalist. I was very aware of it, and so I decided to go to university. And because the last 6 months that I was a journalist, I was the court reporter, the main chief court reporter. So I was in court, and I was seeing all these lawyers, and God, it was in the 80s, and there was one guy that wore us like a silver suit with the big shoulder pads and everything. And, it was all, and I thought that they were the bee's knees. I was just so desperate to be as cool and flash as them, because, I was from Gore and that. And I just wanted to be, big flash lawyer in the district court in Invercargill, wearing fucking, beautiful white leather suits and all that sort of shit with the big shoulder pads. I subsequently discovered that I wouldn't have been able to stay studying the law if it was only because I wanted to be flash, because I considered, oh wow, a lawyer, how flash is that? I wouldn't have been able to, I wouldn't have stuck it. I became fascinated by the law, the way it works, and the rule of law, and the role it plays in society, and the philosophy of law. So I ended up doing philosophy as my major for my BA. And I chose papers which crossed over with jurisprudence. So I did jurisprudency type papers in my law degree, and I did political philosophy and other philosophy type papers that crossed over with philosophy of law, and came out, and I got a job in the top firm in New Zealand. One of 6. I was the only person from Otago University who got selected by the top law firm in New Zealand, and they chose me because they thought I'd be a breath of fresh air through the place. And fuck was I what? Because I was from Gore.
That's the bit I know, I guess, probably from the start of your law.
Yeah, well, I was the breath of fresh air through Chapman Trip. There's no doubt about it. They had never seen anything like me before. Because very, very working class, very fucking working class background. There were no other lawyers at Chapman Trip with who came from working class families. They were all lawyer families with judges for dads and granddads. And so, yeah, it was a breath of fresh air, all right. Sometimes that was difficult. And other times it was amazing, because I was loved to absolute bits, but there were some people who hated my fucking guts. So it was very much, you know, all one way or the other. But there were more people who loved me than there were who hated my guts. And the ones that hated my guts, I hated theirs. Yeah. But I mean, we still got on and everything. I mean, it wasn't like I was rude to any of them, or they were rude to me, but it was very clear. We just, there were some there who were complete fucking assholes and they did not like me at all. And there were others who tried to condition me to be more genteel by correcting my grammar and correct, you know, when I use double negatives. I deliberately use double negatives. I'm not stupid. I use them for effect. I use swear words for effect. I deliberately use them. They don't just pop out my gob. And it was the same at Chapman Trip. No words popped out my gob. I always know what word I'm going to say. Well, insofar as, you know, I am, depending on the company I'm with, I will temper how I speak to account. And I don't swear in front of grannies, you know. I swear in front of a lot of people, but I don't swear in front of grannies. And I don't swear in court, although I did once deliberately so that I could say that I'd done it. I said fuck in court. Just so that I could say, I've said fuck in court before to a judge.
How did that go down?
She wasn't very happy. But I did it deliberately because I wanted to have that as a little story to tell. and this wasn't when it was when I was acting for myself, when I was in the family court, kangaroo is what I call it, the mental health court, the kangaroo court. And I was in kangaroo advocating for myself, and I used the word fuck, and I said it deliberately. And on the way home in the car there was a carload of us. 5. There was so who's this and why are they coming?
I presume it's a staff member.
He's not coming into our session. No fucking way. Hey, Chris, I'm not meeting with Sasho with you.
Oh.
Chris? No, fuck off. Tell him to fuck off, please. I don't want to meet him. I'm having a session with you, please. Tell him to leave.
Well,
tell him to leave, Chris.
Separately?
Tell him to leave. This is our session. You protect the safety of the space,
Can we
please.
catch up afterwards?
I'm moving upstairs.
Do you have time? Okay.
Depends.
This is
It's,
my session with my
at 3
therapist,
Alright.
which is pre-arranged and paid for by the government. No fucking way. There's going to take me a moment to fucking settle down from that one, Chris.
Take a moment.
That fucking arsehole. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm angry. And I say Jesus Christ, which I really don't say anymore. Fucking cunt. Fucking cunt. Bastard, he's a bully. How fucking dare he? How fucking dare he? Thank you for protecting the space, because there was no way in hell I'm meeting with him. Not meeting with him, and I'm certainly not talking to the peer review in here with somebody on a fucking laptop. And a nurse. Fuck that. How dare he? How fucking dare he? How dare he, Chris? How dare he? This is yours and my time. Nothing to do with that cunt. Nothing. Absolutely nothing to do with that cunt. He should be talking to my daughter. My daughter has said she wants to speak to him.
Right.
She wants to speak to him. And I said that if Jess speaks to him, I will then meet with him. Only after she has spoken to him.
Okay.
But I don't know whether he's spoken to her or not. Probably not, although he may. He'll just lie about it. Whatever it is, he'll lie about it. Fuck, he's a liar. Oh my God, he's such a bad liar. I've called him out in some fucking whoppers. I don't trust that cunt as far as I can fucking throw him, I swear to God.
So,
And I will not work with him.
So I should probably start with an admission then. I said to you when we spoke last time.
You said, can I please speak to him? And I said yes. And you were allowed to. You were given my permission to speak to him.
But I haven't actually managed to speak to him.
That's all right. You're still able to speak to him. If you want to meet with him after this, you can talk to him.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay? You're totally. I'm fine with you speaking to him after this if you can track him down.
Yeah.
And he has been, I said to the nurse, my daughter wants to speak to him. She's in Australia, as you know. She's given her number and she's ready. She's ready any time today to speak to him.
Okay. Can you help me understand what's the significance of go talking to him and then you're willing to talk to Sasha? I don't quite.
Because I don't like the bastard, but I will speak to him if he speaks to my daughter first.
How does it change things?
How does it change things?
Yeah, if he's spoken to her, how does that make it more acceptable?
It's made it more acceptable because it means that my daughter has laid some groundwork on my behalf.
Okay.
I need groundwork laid on my behalf before I will speak to him. And she said she will do it.
Okay. Not quite sure. I mean, maybe it's not for me to know because this is. I'm not quite sure what the ground is.
Basically advocating for me. Advocating for my position. Because he's trying to bully me into meeting with him. I haven't met with him in probably 2 weeks. I just refuse to sit with him because as soon as he opens his fucking gob, he tells a lie, and I get very, very, very angry.
I can see. I don't think I've seen you that agitated.
No, angry. Angry is what it's called. Angry. Call it what it is. Call it what it is. Anger.
I can call it anger.
It's anger. And I've got reason to be angry with him because he's been a fucking prick. An absolute fucking prick. A bully boy. A big time bully boy. And Jess said, Mum, I actually don't. She said, I don't think it's going to make any difference. She said half of them don't know what they're fucking talking about and the other half are too arrogant. That's what Jess said to me in a email last night. She said, I don't think anything I say is going to do any good. She says, nothing I say ever does any good. They don't listen to me. She says, and they don't listen to it. They don't read they don't follow your advance directive, despite the fact I give it to them and I tell them what's in it. They don't follow it. So why should I? And I said, please, Jess, just try and talk to him. Just speak up for me, please. Just speak up for me with this guy. And if you do, and you are able to have a conversation with him, and you can confirm to me that you have spoken to him, then I will meet with him. Then and only then. Because I'm not interested in doing any deals with that bastard. Okay, like my lawyer came in today, really cool chick actually. Fuck, she'd done her research on me. She had searched me up and down the fucking internet. She had read so much of what I've published on the internet, and she had seen the interview with me, between me and the New Zealand Herald about cannabis. She'd watched the interview. There was an interview that is on the internet of me being interviewed by the Herald about the referendum, way back.
Yeah.
And it was about that.
Okay.
And it was about my experiences with cannabis and the damage that it can cause in terms of psychosis. People don't actually understand that that's one of the major risks of smoking cannabis is psychosis. And, I said, you don't know until it's too fucking late whether you're one of the people who's going to become psychotic on cannabis. Yeah. And she watched that, and she had printed off things from my Substack account. She had fully printed them and gave them to me. Said, I've read this. She says, I think this is good. We should use this in court because I've got court tomorrow.
Right. Mental health tribunal court, that one?
I've got he's applied for a CTO. Mm-hmm. So I met with her today, and fuck, she was an awesome woman. Why did I mention that I had been speaking to her? There was a reason why I wanted to tell you that something about her.
You said she visited earlier today.
Yeah, but there was a reason why I was telling you. I can't quite remember what it was because there was a reason. I was referring to her for a particular reason. Oh, yeah. She said, can you try and negotiate some leave? Can you try and negotiate to get out for a walk? Or I said, no, I'm not negotiating with that asshole. I'm not negotiating with him. I'm not doing any deals. I'm not playing any games. I've fucking walked out of the game. I've got my back to the fucking game that he's playing. I ain't playing. I'll go to court tomorrow, and my lawyer is very, very, very good. And she is acting on my instructions rather than being fucking maternalistic or paternalistic, whichever sex you want to apply, like a lot of them are. Because I said to her, I said, I'm not interested in having you as my lawyer if you're one of those maternalistic ones who decide that they'll act in what they consider to be the best interests of their client, like counsel for child. I said, we aren't going to be, that's not the kind of relationship we're going to have. And she said, no, I'm not one of those lawyers. I said, there's plenty of them around though, isn't there, in the mental health? She said, yes, there is, but I'm not one of them. She said, I will act exclusively on your instructions and I won't substitute my own views for yours or do anything against what your instructions are. I will follow your instructions to the letter. I said, good, you're hired then. She's an amazing lady. I really liked her. We spent quite a lot of time together this morning and I'm seeing her again tomorrow. But anyway, she's the one who says, that's the reason why I wanted to tell you. She's the one who says, can you do some deals? I said, what am I going to do? Put my wee hand out like that to Sasho saying, oh, please, sir, please, can I have 15 minutes leave? No, I'm not giving him any power. He's got no power. I said to him, you've got no power. All you have is the ability to invoke a bit of force using a parliamentary statute. You have no power over me. All you have is force. And that's not the same as power, Chris. It ain't power. I've got the power over myself. And if any force is used against me in future, and I'm getting injected in the arse every night, which is force. It's force. Because I tell them I don't consent. I do not consent to this injection. And I want you to record it in my notes, and my nurses always do. The only reason why I lie on my tummy and pull my pants down is because I'm not fucking stupid. I don't want to fight off 5 nurses wearing blue gloves. But it's force. It's all force. And I'm not, I can't stop them from using force against me. I cannot, because I'm only a skinny wee fucking 57-year-old white lady. I ain't got no counterforce that I can use in terms of physical. But I'll rock up to court tomorrow with a good lawyer who's got a good plan. She wants me to get my peer support worker to come, Savannah. I've just got to track her down this Savo and ask her if she can sort of drop things tomorrow and come and support me. She said, can you have your son there? I said, no fucking way. I said, absolutely no way am I having my son there.
What's going on between you and Alex now?
Nothing. We're all good.
Nothing as in...
He's under instructions to kick Jason out.
Yeah, you told me that last week.
And I said to him...
Because he's on the lease, isn't he?
Yeah, he's co-tenant. Me and Alex are co-tenants, and Jason is a boarder. And Jason has been given instructions, eviction orders. Alex has already told him that he has to leave.
On the lease, because you were asking for him to come off the lease, weren't you?
No, never.
No?
Why would I do that? That'd be dumb. You are mistaken.
Okay, I could be mistaken.
You are. You are mistaken.
Okay.
You are mistaken. Alex has to stay on the lease because we have a fixed term of a year, which runs out in October. And it's not good if you're a tenant trying to get out of a fixed term lease. It's a black mark against your name, and he knows that. I said the only way that you can make it all okay is if you throw heaps of money at it, and you can get out then. And then the landlord will say, well, they broke the fixed term lease, but we didn't suffer at all. In fact, it ended up being just fine. We got new tenants in. There wasn't a single week of rent that wasn't paid. They kept the house really tidy when people were coming through. All of that. I've done it once. I've broken a lease once before, and I made it so that it was fucking seamless for the landlord. So they were more than happy to say, yes, you broke the lease, but these are the reasons, and we thought that was, they were reasonable reasons, and we were not out of pocket at all. In fact, we were more than happy to let her out.
So Alex is in the house?
No, apparently. Well, I don't know whether he's moved back in now, because I told him that he had to actually... Well, he didn't move out. He was staying with his girlfriend. He wanted to stay away from Jason. But I wrote to him, was it either last night or the night before? No, I think it was the night before. And Jess, him and Jess together. No, I CC'd Jess And I wrote it to Alex, and I said, here's a draft email that I'm going to be sending to the property manager. And it was a draft email that made Alex look like a fucking wimp. Because I'm actually going to ask the landlord's property manager, to help me get Jason out. And Alex wrote back to me and said, well, I don't know what to do, Mum. I've told him to leave. What do I do? And so I wrote back and said, this is what you do. You tell him he's got 48 hours to pack and get the fuck out, or you're going to get a trespass notice. I said, go and get the trespass notice from the police station. In 48 hours, you serve it on him. Then you call the bloody police. And I said, and get all your friends around and get him the fuck out, because he has had over a month to get out. He thinks that he's going to be able to stay because I'm going to be all fucked up on the meds, you see, and I'll be able to be gaslit to fuck by him, which is what always happens. I go back on the meds, he gaslights me to fuck. I believe that he's actually not a bad guy. And I forget all the things that he's done, even though I've got them in writing. And I just think, oh, she'll be right. As long as I'm on the meds and he's on his meds, we'll get on okay. We just have to make sure we don't talk about mental health. And I just have to make sure that I present well around him all the time. In fact, I have to be a little bit on the downside.
Sorry, whose words are these?
These are mine.
Those words.
That everything I'm saying is basically what Jason is assuming the situation is going to be. That, like every single other time when he's been a sociopathic cunt and fucked me up, I've come out the other side all medicated to fuck and said, oh, it's okay, Jace, yeah, righto. And he said, oh, you are such a nasty little bitch when you're unwell. Oh, you're a nasty piece of work. Me? Me a nasty piece of work? That's the fucking, he's the nasty piece of work. This time he assaulted me, brutally assaulted me. He assaulted my dog. He threatened me. He threatened that he was going to hurt my dog. He did hurt my dog. He threatened me that I was going to lose my dog. He threatened me that the cops were going to come round and take me to A&E or bring me into the hospital. He threatened me continuously every day for 2 fucking weeks. And I ain't forgetting that. And I've been injected in the ass for the last probably, I don't know, maybe 10 nights, probably, would be at least the last 10 nights. And I haven't forgotten one fucking bit of it, and I'm not going to. So Jason has to leave, and it could very well be ugly, but I don't think it will be, because once Jason realises that there's never going to be a day where he's going to be welcome in my life. Not in my home, not on the phone, not via email, not via text. Once he really understands that the situation is not going to change, no matter how many fucking meds they put into me, once he understands that, he's going to get the fuck out, because why would he stay? He's not that stupid. He's not going to dig his toes in like that. Alex, I just said to Alex, you've just basically got to threaten him. You have to threaten him. Well, and threaten him with legal remedies.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yep.
On one hand, I'd like to keep going with this. On the other hand,
It's irrelevant.
well, not entirely, but Sasho indicated he'd be there until 3, and I would like to go and have a chat with him.
Okay.
Can I pop out, speak to Sasho, and we come back?
Yep.
And resume, if that works for you.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
But you can tell him from me that I believe him, that I consider him to be a bully, and I don't give in. You just tell him from me. Just say this is Elizabeth's. Yes, this is. You can say this is Elizabeth's view of you.
Okay.
She doesn't trust you as far as she can throw you. She considers you to be a bully, and she doesn't take to bullies at all. She doesn't negotiate with them. She doesn't play games with them.
Can I also add, but you will talk to him if you...
I'll talk to him if he's spoken to my daughter, yes. He has to have spoken to my daughter first.
Okay. There are other conversations I want to have with Sasha, so it's not all going to be, I'm not just acting as your messenger. I'll pass that on.
Yeah.
But other stuff I want to talk about is, he's your treating doctor now.
He's my treating doctor now.
When-
Now, I am not. You have to know this, Chris. I am not going to cooperate with him. If they put me on a CTO, the judge says I'm under a CTO, I will never ever comply. They will have to have the police fucking tracking me down every 3 weeks to get my injection in my ass. I mean it. I've told Jess, and she's going to pass that on. Non-compliance. Total non-compliance. And that is one of the arguments we're going to be using in front of the judge. I don't trust these fuckers. don't trust them. I don't trust you. I don't trust any of these people, okay? None of them. So I can't be in a therapeutic relationship with them because I don't trust them. And I tell you what, I never ever will. Just like Jason, I never ever will trust Jason again. And I never ever will trust mental health again, because if you have, remember from my draft, which is now my actual angry advance directive, it says they are on their last chance and they fucked it up, and that's it. That's the last chance, the absolute last chance they're going to get. I will never trust them again. So there can be no therapeutic relationship at all, because there will never be trust. Never. And I fucking mean that from the very, very bottom of my heart.
I'm not asking you to trust them. I mean, I would hope we can rebuild.
Well, we might be able to, but you've threatened my autonomy.
Have I?
Yes, you fucking have. You have. You have threatened my autonomy.
So I tell you what, I am absolutely.
Go and see him.
I'm willing to hear that.
Well,
But
that's why I don't trust you, Chris. You threatened my autonomy.
right, I want you to explain that to me. But I do want to catch Sasho because he said he was
Okay.
available till 3. Okay.
All right. Well, I'll just. I don't know how long you're going to be. I'll be wandering around listening to my music.
Okay. Well, I'll try not to be too long.
Leave it open. And he can't lie to me about having seen my daughter, has spoken to my daughter. He'll try. Bet he fucking tries.